So this idea came about because I noticed that these rhododendron leaves in my yard look really beautiful. I noticed the sun coming through them and they're really beautiful when they're backlit. So I was trying to think about how I could photograph them backlit. And so my solution that I'm going to try is this picture frame that has two pieces of glass in it. So I'll be able to suspend each leaf between two pieces of glass. I'm going to take the photo out before I do it so that the glass will be clear. Behind the glass, I have a white piece of paper on the window so that I'm getting the backlit leaf, but I'm not getting any busyness of the deck behind it. Camera on a tripod, and I think each leaf I'll put the frame, each leaf that I photograph, I'll put the frame back in exactly the same spot so that they're roughly the same distance from the camera. I'll keep the settings consistent, and I've got 24 leaves to photograph, so we'll see how it goes. This was the portion of my photo that I had to do in Lightroom and Photoshop. I started with my 24 photos in Lightroom. I made sure that each photo was rotated so that the leaf was approximately straight up and down. And then in each photo, I also worked with a mask for the background. I'll show you the overlay for that. Because my starting point in each photo had a fairly white background, I didn't have to do much with the mask, but I masked the background and brought up the exposure and the whites. Here, I'll get rid of that. This was my starting point in most photos. Masked the background, and then by bringing up the exposure and the white balance, not the white balance, but the whites, I was able to really isolate the leaf on a white background. After I did that across all 24 photos, I selected all 24, and then in the photo menu, open, edit in, open as layers in Photoshop. I'm not going to do that across all 24 here because I don't want to make the video too long, but so I'll select 3, just 3 for now, edit, open as layers in Photoshop. And what I end up with in Photoshop looks fairly similar to what I was working with in Lightroom at this point, but over here I have each photo as a layer. The first step was to change this drop down from normal to multiply on all of the photos. And that gives it this translucent, delicate look that I was going for. After that, I was able to adjust the size so that it was closer to what I wanted to work with in the final file, and I tried to make sure that each one was roughly the same size. It didn't have to be perfect. And let's see, so I'll do that on this third one too. Okay. Then, because I wanted, actually I still have my other one open here, so I'll show you this. Because I wanted this 360-degree fanned out final layout, I thought, let's see, so, and then there were 24 photos that I was starting with, so 360 degrees divided by 24 means that each leaf had to rotate by 15-degree increments. So I went back to my 24 layers, and I renamed each layer in 15-degree increments. So for starters here, I have 0, 15, and 30. Then I also did view, show, grid. This was helpful for me while I was working. And then the other thing that I did to keep myself, just to make this a little bit easier on myself, was I used the ellipse tool, and by holding down shift I was able to make a perfect circle. And that's where I was using these as guides. So then I would work with the 0-degree leaf, and I brought that up to the 0-degree point on my circle. I'm going to push the ellipse to the background. Then I would go to the 15-degree leaf, and up here in the transform tools I would type in 15 degrees and it would rotate it for me, and then I put it on the circle. 30-degree leaf, rotate it up here by 30 degrees, and that one went onto the circle too. So I did that all the way around for all 24 images. And then prior to, here I'll go over to this one, prior to flattening the image and saving it, I just made the ellipse layer invisible. That went away. Flattened the image, and then I brought that back into Lightroom. So in Lightroom, these are kind of some of the final layouts that I had. In Lightroom, I did a little bit of removal of some of the more distracting spots. Here, 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 and this leaf had some tears and rips on it. So did a little bit of cleaning up of the image in Lightroom, but that's pretty much it. I hope this was helpful.